to the regular podcast Knowledge Empowers. Today with you is me, Kat. 안녕하세요. Then we have Kolaj.
Good morning, dobré ráno všetci.
We have Baruch.
Hello.
And we have a guest today, Zuzka.
Hi, everyone.
And we decided to continue with the topic diversity, but this time parents. And that's why we have a guest, because nor me, neither Kolaj or Baruch are parents. So we had to invite a parent here so we could ask lots of questions. And that's why we have Zuzka here. And Zuzka, tell us, how many kids do you have and what is their age?
I have, should I count only human kids, or you mean all of them I have? Because I have 2 kids, I have 2 dogs, 2 rats, 5 African snails. So there's a lot of them. But the human kids are 2. So I have a daughter. She's almost 11, 10 and a half, and I have a son. He's 7.
Oh. 5 African snails. Nails.
They're
Not
big.
these ones.
They can have like half kilo. One can have like half kilo. They're like beasts. So still growing.
Okay.
What do you do with them when they grow big? Like, those are not for eating, right?
Those are not for eating. I have to be very cruel now, and I'm original from Poland. I shouldn't say it officially, but I'm doing a regular abortion because we have a lot of eggs, little eggs. They are hermaphrodites, you know, so I have to do something with that. So I'm that cruel person who actually have to deal with that kind of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
How many eggs do they have usually?
Oh my God. Twice we forget about it, and we have like 70 snails. So I have to distribute them. I give it to all the cousins, friends from my Sophia's schoolmates. So everybody have our snails now around.
You can't just release them?
No, because they are African snails, and you can destroy our our
biodiverse.
Exactly. So
How often do they lay the eggs?
Every few weeks.
Well, why did you choose such a pet? Like, you cannot really pet them, can you?
Oh, you can. They are really sweet. You can shower them, and they put heads very up into the air, and they love when you scratch them. They are different, but it was not my choice, you know. When you have kids, it's not like you do not have your choice. It's like family choice, and it's how to say compromise, because the reason was obviously COVID.
Mm-hmm.
When COVID. I think it was March last year when everybody had to stay at home, also my kids. So, and Adam was not at school that time. Of course, Sophia had online school, only a few hours in the morning, but they were like bored, you know. You have Lego, you have gravity tracks, you have all different kind of stuff, but they start to ask like, "Mommy, we want our own pet, we want something in our own, room." So I said like, okay. So rats. That was my choice because I had rats when I was little and I loved those animals. So I said, okay, with those, I know how to pet them. I can help you. But then we have the little one. And I said like, what I can choose for the little one, you know, because anything I choose, it means I have to take care of it because he can put the water and put some cucumbers in their, the box, but that's it. So we went into the zoo shop. And I started to ask, and the guy was really funny. He said, like, because Adam, of course, he looked at the lizards, chameleon, all that kind of stuff. And I said, like, they look very nice, Adam, but I don't know. We have to ask. And the guy said, I do not recommend them because you need a little bags, and they have to be live. They have to be alive because they have to catch them. So, in case they run away somewhere in your house, you will have this little sound, you know, like, and it's very hard to find them. I was like, okay, so lizards, no, snails, no, like snakes. So then he said, like, but we have African snails, and they are very easy to carry. It's like, okay, so we decided to have them. But yeah, it's
But
funny.
how did you get 5? And why 5?
That was because I had 2 original. I had 2, but then I had this accident with eggs. So I was able to distribute most of them, but not all of them. And I feel sorry. What, you know, you cannot just throw away already live snails. It's different with eggs. It's different already with something which look at you. So I keep them.
Do you have to do a lot of compromises like this with kids, or I mean, is
All
it really a compromise?
all,
I
all
don't
the
know.
time. All
Okay.
the time. Like, of course there might be parents who are like dictators, you know, and they
Mhm.
decided like this is how it is and you have no choice. But I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't want. I'm not the expert. I just think like this is like life creature. This is like human being, and they also have their own. They should have their own choices, and we always should discuss stuff. Of course, there are stuff they cannot decide it, but at least you should ask them. At least you should explain. Not say like, okay, this is decision. That's it. There's nothing you can say. And they are, you know, they're bigger and bigger, and they start to ask a lot of questions, and you have to be very careful what to say. So
But so that reminds me to 3 things. My mom used to say those 2 regular things. While you live under my roof, my rules. And the second one was, but why? Because I said so.
and
that was end of conversation. Okay.
but when you left your home, what age you were when you left
17.
you see?
But hold on, you want your
So you
kids to live with you
just
till
ran
30
away.
or what?
No, but for example, my mother was like this, you know, we always discuss a lot of stuff. And for example, when she asked me, do you have any homework? I said like, no. Or do you have any tests or something? And she said like, it's up to you. If you bring 5, like in Poland it's like 1. It's opposite. So she always said like, if you bring it, it's yours. It's your life, you know. If you want to go and I don't know, dig some hole in the ground or work in the shop or whatever, it's up to you. So she was always like try to explain me what will be the consequences, but in the end she wasn't like, every day you have to bring only 1, you know. But I don't no. She was like very, very open, and we discussed stuff. But yeah, I was crazy kid, and I know that Sophie is very similar to me. So I'm just cannot wait what's
It's
gonna
a
happen.
payback time.
Exactly.
But I have another question. What you were mentioning, that now they are asking lots of questions, and you have to be very careful what you're gonna tell them. And you are also a manager. Isn't it the same? Because when I was manager and HR trained me, they gave us one golden rule: never commit to anything. Because once you commit to it, you will need to make it happen. And isn't it the same now with the kids? Like, you are so careful what you say.
Like, of course, but there are stuff I can't commit, you know. I still have a power to do something, to buy something, to plan something, but they can be very easy disappointed, very easy. For example, this weekend, easy example, I was in Poland. We had a huge party. We had a Halloween party with my friends from university. Almost everybody already have kids, so there was like 12 kids there, and different ages. But we went for the walk, and on that walk, somebody said that, I heard that in the evening there is organized some kind of how they call it, chasing I don't know how to say it in English. Like you just run, and there is something hiding in the woods, and you have to find it, and there will be some Halloween surprises and prizes and sweets, and that's supposed to be in that city where we've been, and kids hear that, and it's like, where are we gonna when we gonna there when we gonna go there, when it will be, and it was like, what? Like, you said we will go there. I said, like, no, we said maybe it will be. No, you said we will go. And they hear a little thing, and they are very like, that is okay, we have to go there. And then when we told them, like, but guys, it's already like almost 10, it was party, you had a lot of attractions, other stuff, we are not gonna go anywhere. Of course, we couldn't say that all the parents already had a beer, so there's no driver. So we have to choose other arguments. But we said, like, no, we are not gonna there, and blah blah blah. And they were like, it was big drama. Drama. So definitely you have to be careful if you are not sure you're gonna go somewhere, or you always need to have like alternative option, because then my friends, he came and said, like, but I have something better for you. And he had this, this Mexican stuff. The kids beat it, and they have a sweet thing that,
Piñata.
like a
piñata, exactly.
Piñata.
So he brought this piñata, and I was like, you are Jesus, you're our savior. Thank you. So he was put piñata, and that's it. But yeah, you always need to have some other options for kids, definitely. If you promise something.
Can you give us an example that's something you've learned from your kids, either with your negotiation skills, and then you have applied it as a manager?
Oh my God, Katka. I don't know, to be honest.
Can you find some parallels, like what you do at home and at the same time in work, like working with people, no matter how small they are or how big they are? Like, do you find these similarities? Like, oh, hey, I was just dealing with this at home this morning with my kids, and now I have to do the same in work.
Like, of course, there are always people who do not feel appreciation enough. And it doesn't matter if you're a kid or if you're adult. This is just like personality. So, for example, I have like 2 kids, and they are completely different. The smaller one, he's more like me. He's like optimistic, and no matter what happens, he will just get a little biscuit or something. I will just put like, oh, great job, Adam, it was super. He's always like happy and grateful. Sophia is totally opposite. She's that little grumpy lady who's thinking like, oh, I might do it like better. I should do it different stuff. Oh, I never do it on time. And she needs a lot of attention, much more attention, and much more appreciation. And I had like similar, I see similar stuff at work. There are some people who just work, and they are happy what they are doing. And of course, they also need attention, but not as much as those who every day needs this little kick, like, you are doing great job, like, you are the best. There are many people like this around us who need us. And you have to recognize, like, okay, this is the person who needs much more attention and appreciation to do their work good. Definitely.
I'm gonna ask because my girlfriend is a psychologist, and this year I had the opportunity. Yeah, by the way, hi Lenka. So I had the opportunity to go for the psychological summer school, and we were talking about Adlerian psychological school, which is mostly targeting kids, like how to grow up a kid. And we were actually doing this comparison between childhood and leadership. So we were looking up like, what is my leadership thread? What is my leadership based on my childhood? And there was one thing which really resonated with me. And those were like 4 C's, the 4 C's competencies, which we want to grow up in our kids, or we need to show up in our kids in terms of needs, and we want to grow them up as a manager. So I'm gonna read them out, or actually talk about them a bit, and I want to see if you can confirm whether it's really valid when it comes to kids. So those 4 C's stands for connected, capable, counts, and courage. And it means that connected, that they want to belong, they want to be part of something, part of a team, part of a family, part of some group. Capable, that they are competent and that they are able to do something on their own. Counts, that it's about the contribution, so they contribute towards the group, towards the family, towards the team with their own pieces of work. And the last one is courage, so to overcome fear and challenges, to try something new, to experiment. So those are the 4 C's: connection, capability, counts, and courage. Do you see this with your kids? Like, these are their 4 sort of a basic needs, something like that?
I don't know if it's like basic needs, but all of them are very, very, very important. Like when you tell about connection, definitely. Like since I remember when I was kid, I was the part of any group, like dance group, scouts, whatever. Like I always be part of a group, and I'm trying to always, like my kids also, like Adam is on football, he had karate in the past, then swimming, Sophia yoga, dance, stuff like this. And I'm never forced them, but I feel the group is very important to learn how to cooperate, and it's not only if they will be like managers in the future, but for any other role. Connection, it's one of the most important, that you really can cooperate, because even if you are introvert, you are not like single island, you have to cooperate with people some way. So it's very important. Capable, of course, like Adam still cannot cannot put his like shoelaces. I fight with that one, but they are very independent. And when you are parents, it's how to say, it's better for you to teach them stuff rather to do it, because I wake up now in the morning, I can sleep 10 or even 15 minutes longer, because they dress up alone, they come in the like downstairs, open the fridge, take milk, whatever, prepare their own breakfast.
Turn on the TV, turn on the computer, turn on the PlayStation, play around.
Of course, it's not really good that they can do it. Adam do not have his own phone yet. He do not have it, but I borrow him mine, and he always when I take it, and he's like, he come and say like, code. And I was like, sorry? He's like, code. It's like, no, I cannot hear. Code, prosim. It's like, okay, but we have agreement that he's got like half an hour per day for the like gaming. So I take my phone and I do it like this way, like very close to my face, to put this pin code that he cannot see it, because otherwise it's like. And Sophia Hacker already like, hold on, your pin to your credit card is this, so probably your pin. I was like, you little one, like she's already like trying, you know. And you have to be very careful with numbers. So capable, definitely, but be careful here. Counts is very important, because even every day when we have a dinner, there's something you have to do. Like you take cutlery, you take plates, you prepare the table. Sophia already helping with some cooking and stuff like this. So they have to feel that they are part of the family. If we go somewhere, now they are older, so I always put the little bags on the on their bag, and it's like, okay, you at least will take one bottle of water, you will take this, you will take this. So it's important. And courage, with courage, it's harder, I would say, because you cannot force kids to do stuff, you know, like I have to be very careful because I'm crazy person. I'm trying all different kind stuff. I jumped from the plane. When I was kid, I was always on the highest tree or whatever, and I have to be careful because I had this feel that I tried to push them to try stuff, but for example, Sophia, do not worry about she's not afraid about like danger stuff. She loves horrors like me, and like Adam is more like careful, and I don't want to push him. He's more like sensitive, and so I'm step back here and I was like, do whatever you want. Like this is your like border. I'm not gonna force you to do stuff. So, but
And
very
when you-
important for CCC said, yeah.
And when you think that I'm an energetic person, I am half of Zuzka. So
No.
I found more energetic person. But let me ask you, and let's go a little bit like back, more than a year, when you as a manager and you have team, not only in Slovakia, but across Europe. And then you had suddenly also both of your kids, when Adam was still in kindergarten, Sophia at school, stayed at home.
Mm-hmm.
How did you cope? How did you prioritize, or how did you even create your day that you are capable to perform your job as a manager and then as a mother? And how much did you involve your husband in it as well?
Like it's tricky because my husband is a journalist and he had to be at office all the time. He couldn't work from home, so of course he take dogs in the mornings. He have a lot of stuff I put on his back, but during the day I was the one who was with the kids at home, and it was not easy, Katka. And first of all, you have to say to yourself, you are not going to do everything for 100%. It's not possible, because then you're going to get mad, you know, because I saw my friends who try do their job and parental part for the 100%, and they were frustrated, and there was a lot of like frustration on their side. So this is the first stuff you have to do. You have to say like, okay, this is just the period. It's gonna finish one day. But how long you gonna have already? Miss Corona? I thought it will finish earlier, but no, it's different because the quarantine and the lockdown was for Slovakia. We were lucky. I have like family in Poland and they stay home like much longer. So for me, it was not so bad. They locked us up in the March. So I was at home with kids only until June. They were already back to school in June. So it was only a few months. It was not so bad. And we were lucky that it was already spring. So good weather, you can kick your kids out. They can play outside for some time. They cannot have to stay at home, you know, because imagine it happens during the November, December, when there's already bad weather and they have to stay at home. So we were lucky about the weather. It was not so long. And I always like, you need agenda, you need plan, and you have to at least try to stick to it. Like, of course, COVID messed up with all the rules. For example, you know, all the mobiles and computers and all the laptops and stuff like this. They use it much more, and I hate it because when you have like 2, 3, 4 calls in a row at your work, and you actually cannot spend time with your kids, how long they can watch some cartoons, how long they can you know, assembly Lego or draw or stuff like this. So in the end, you will give them this phone, or you will give them this laptop to play, because to be honest, gaming is the only one stuff they can keep them focused for the, I don't know, for example, half an hour, and you have like 100% guarantee they will not come to you. Believe me, for any other, when they're drawing, when they're doing other stuff, they will come every 5 minutes to ask, like, is this color is good? Or do you think this, I draw this head like, this is good, maybe bigger ears or stuff like that. And you cannot say like, I'm on the call, I cannot answer your questions. Like, can you be there like half an hour? But when you give them the phone and you put the game, 100% guarantee they will be there for half an hour. And it's not good to say that as a parent, but unfortunately, this is what happens during the COVID. But then, what I've done, I start to plan my day a little bit differently. For example, in the morning, we had at least a very nice breakfast together, and I start, for example, from 9. Then I work. Then I had always around lunchtime, I always have this 1.5 hour break, and I really had this break. I turn off like laptop and I was with my kids. And then I try to finish, for example, at 4. And I have those 2-3 hours with them. And then I work in the evening, but they were already fell asleep. So we have to be very strict. You have to put them into the bed 8:30, and then you can finish your work. But you need a plan, and you need to like reschedule your day somehow to be like with kids and then to be at work. It's not easy, but it's possible.
Do you feel more drained than a year before or something like that? Like, what's your energy level right now if you think back?
I don't know if I'm the correct person to ask that question. I always have a lot of energy, but it's not because of the work. Like I feel when I look at my work, of course, I would love to meet people. I would love to do some stuff maybe a little bit differently, but I always find some other passions that kick me and gave me that energy. So if I feel that my energy at work goes down, I always said like, okay, today I need half day off, and I have to do something what I love. So I'm baking or going to meet my friends or whatever I need. But I have this already. I have this feeling as like, okay, this is that moment when I have to do something for myself. And people forget about it, but they should think about themselves also if they are parents, because it's important, I think.
And I also remember, because me and Zuzka, we exercise together twice a week. And I remember back when we really started with Corona and the first lockdowns, that Adam or Sofia always, like, so we were exercising and suddenly the little human just came and either with laptop or with mobile, like put the code in it. And then Zuzka was like, hold on, put the code so we could continue with the exercise. But I remember a few months later, the kids joined us and they exercised with not the full hour, but sometimes they just tried. And it was funny just to see that these little humans had, for example, very much different body coordination. Like we did an exercise with going with an elbow to touch a knee, and then the other elbow touch the other knee. So it's like going crisscross. And Adam was trying to figure out, what are we doing? It was so funny to watch. And Zuzka, how did you manage that? Okay, they firstly need to understand that you need an exercise, and that either they join or they just sort of leave you alone. I know sometimes Adam goes like, what are the noises coming out of the laptop? And that's when I'm breathing.
Exactly. He was like that kind of horror watching us. No, like they love sports. Like as I said, they are doing all different kind of stuff: karate, football, whatever, swimming, dancing, yoga. And we had this Just Dance application on PlayStation where we all dancing together. So I say to myself sometimes, like, you have to be rich. Sorry to say that word, but really, like, to tell to your kids, to be able to tell to your kids like, no, now this is my moment. This is time which this is just for me, and you have to respect that. It's like when you are playing, when I see you enjoy something, I'm not coming and turn off your cartoon in the middle, or I'm not disturbing you, so please respect, this is like my time. So I always try to explain to them. Of course, not always they understand, or they understand it for 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes they come back as a boomerang. But but parenting is about the repeating stuff. I was thinking last time I'm gonna record something and just use the tape. For example, that will be in the morning, like obletsa, 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 obletsa. Then I'm gonna turn it off after they're gonna dress up, and there will be umizube, 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 umizube. Because I have the feelings that I'm just like repeating stuff like hundreds of times before they're actually done. But yeah, I'm gonna be rapper.
I've seen this picture posted on LinkedIn. Like one dad, he had his separated. I'm not sure if it was a home office. Basically, he had his own room for working, and on the door there was a big poster, and on the poster was this traffic sign: "Do not enter." And underneath that was like, "If you need anything, ask mom." And saying like, "Daddy is on the call." So I want to ask, do you have your own room, and how do you manage, like, if you have some important calls where you need to actually, let's say, present, or you need to actually speak and focus on the call?
Like first of all, I can decide it, like accept call or reject it or plan it on that time which is suitable for me. So if there's any call like this which is really, really important and I have to present, I try to plan this on time when kids are at school. So for me, it's this is the first step. But if, of course, it's not always possible, we have our friends in US and they working in different hours. So if there's a situation like this, so rather I ask my husband, I said like, sorry, Mirko, but I have this important training or call, whatever. Can you take kids outside with dogs or whatever? But I have to say, during this 1.5 year, it happens many times that kids just like jumped into the call, or my dogs started barking or whatever. But I saw it all around the world. Everybody had this situation. It's not like only I had a COVID and I had kids at home, but everybody had the same situation. So it was like different, the level of tolerance, I would say, and everybody accept that. I never hear that anybody, we had it even when there was like senior VP present to us and his dog started barking. So we couldn't hear anything, and it was like, okay, it happens to anybody. So
I have to say that, and Susie confirm more, recheck, but when it happened, what our leaders did was a full-on understanding and really try to help to every single parent. Like, we understand what's going on. If you cannot make it, don't go on the call. If the kids jump in the call, even the leaders or the team members, we start entertaining the kids on the call just for those 5 minutes. So either we waved or we make dance or something till the parent could sort of sort the kids and then send them away. And they didn't even have to apologize, because it was, like Zuzka mentioned, happening to every single one of them. And it was really sort of, wow, you are still able to manage that and the work. So at least if we can help you this way, we help. And that's when I felt really proud to be in this company, how people were helping one another to cope with this, or even, hey, if we don't need this call, let's cancel it. But even when team members try to entertain the kids through Zoom, that was just hilarious.
And I had this feeling that people became even closer to each other because of that, because that was one unique thing we actually share. No matter where you live, no matter which time zone or whatever, we suddenly share one experience which really put us together. So it's interesting.
And maybe that's how we could end today's session with this unique experience that actually put people together. Zuzka, thank you so much for being with us on our podcast. And with this, I'm going to say 수고하셨습니다.
Bye bye.
Thank you for having me.
Bye. Have a nice day. Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye.
This podcast represents our own opinions, experience, and our own ideas. We do not represent any official statement from our employers, and this is not their official channel representing the company.